Meeting to order. Commissioner Fishback, would you lead us in the pledge, please? Pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We're short our auditor right now. They are all on the phone, so we'll just take a second here to...
Busy election day.
I guess we'll just right quick.
Okay.
Still surplus sales.
Chris, can we move forward without lawyer? I suppose she's coming.
Yeah, we're all here, Max.
Okay, I wrote down. Okay.
You need to keep notes, okay?
Yep, just put who made the motions.
All right.
Okay.
Got it.
Thanks, Max. Hello.
Okay, first item on the agenda, discuss surplus sales proceeds.
So was the option to go back into the funds that they came from or to go into general? Is that right?
I think the option is they go back in the funds they came from, but landfill they wanted to put in the general fund, was my understanding.
Well, the auditor did.
That's what was presented last week.
Right.
We decided to put it on the agenda for today.
I think they go back into the department that they were sold out of.
And I think so too, because that was part of their original budget and that's their operating expense. And they have replacement equipment they have to pay for out of their budget. Do we need a motion?
Any other thoughts?
How much was the landfill one? Do we have that in there? I
Yeah.
only thought if sometimes we take from
It was like
landfill anyway, we question
80,000
whether
or-
we should. If this is a legitimate that we can move, I mean, we should do it while we can.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be needing
I don't
funds
know that.
anyway, so in that budget, so I
But we
think...
took 1.4 million from them for the jail and haven't
Yeah.
put any back in, so this would just be one small way of them getting some of their budget back. Because we might need it again in the future.
But I think in that enterprise, how much do we have in that enterprise fund?
Can't answer that without getting it
I
out.
believe it's those millions, isn't it? For that new cell?
It was in the packet, wasn't it?
I didn't see it in the packet, though.
I think it was last week.
Last week it was, but yeah, not this week. Well, for the sake of discussion, I'll make a motion to put it back into the department that the equipment was sold out of.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to retain the funds that the surplus was sold out of the department to replace back to that department. Any other questions?
I think it should go back in general, so I'll vote no.
Oh, I didn't ask for the vote yet.
I haven't voted yet.
You asked what I thought.
Okay. I guess, whether it goes back in the department and if we pull it out of landfill, I don't think it causes any problem. I think just to keep it clean, we'll entertain a vote on to keep it going back to the departments. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. We have Dirk Rogers, Highway Superintendent, talk about a right-of-way occupancy.
He's waiting to vote.
There he is.
Morning, Dirk.
Morning, Dirk. Howdy. Something going on today? It's hard to get a parking spot out there. Yeah, they heard you're on the agenda.
I figured. Yeah. Being a Democrat in District 2, we just call this Tuesday.
Well, now you're in trouble.
Yeah, I know.
Should have told him you were Democrat.
I know. Well, I put up a sign one time about 10, 12 years ago and got such an ass chewing down at the grocery store for putting up a sign, so...
You're not doing that
There's no
either.
signs at my house anymore.
You're neutral.
Yes. Roads aren't political. What do we got up there today?
The right-of-way occupancy for Northwestern Energy and adjust the speed limit on County Road 14.
The, first thing, right-of-way occupancy for Northwestern Energy, it's in the first mile south of Warner, and basically, they're just taking the overhead power and putting it all in the ditch, which I always think is a good idea for ice and whatnot, and just one less thing sticking up in the right-of-way. Not that we like burying stuff in the road ditch all over the place either, but usually that's, to me, it seems like it's always a logical improvement to bury that stuff if you can do it, so. I would recommend it for approval. It's for about a mile and 600 feet, between 143rd Street and 144th, which is just 1 mile. That first mile south of Warner on County 10.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Kipling, second by Hanson, to move for approval right-of-way occupancy for Northwestern Energy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The other thing's the speed limit.
I was hoping when you say adjust that we're going up.
Yeah, we're not going up.
Oh, come on.
I brought this up a little while ago. We have to lower it there to
Where?
fit the turning lane in. It's on the County 14 project out there.
Right with RDO corner, you mean, or
Yeah,
the other one?
it's-
RDO corner?
Yeah, on that. Well, I'm requesting that we turn the whole thing to 45. Right now it's 55. So that mile starting at US 12 and going all the way to 8th Avenue would be 45.
Is that 2 miles or one?
That's just one.
One mile.
That's just one. It has to be changed at the railroad tracks or we can't open the road. So if you guys want to split hairs and put the south half of the mile at 55, I'll do a quick calculation and tell you how much seconds you save. But the north half of that mile has to be put to 45 or we can't open it up. The turning lane, the length of the turning lane only would accommodate a 45 mile an hour speed limit.
And that's statute, or that's
It's design standard.
design patterns? Okay.
Yep.
So does it say 45 in here?
Yeah, there is, towards the bottom, I believe, on that last column.
Oh, right, that's the last.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's other roads like
Yep. Yep. And
Still be
provided this passes, we're gonna open that up at the end of the day today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, we gotta go out and
And
put
if
up.
it doesn't pass, it's closed indefinitely?
It's closed indefinitely until you guys lower the speed limit.
She's holding us hostage.
You can interpret that any way you want.
I'll make a motion to approve the speed limit adjustment on 14.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Fishback, to approve the 45 mile an hour speed limit from 12 up to the first, 12 to first mile of that 45. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
You two could have voted no.
I did a hesitant yes, okay, yes.
I know how you feel about it. That's,
Do I need a stripping agreement?
Yes.
Do you need to
yep,
authorize chair to sign that?
yeah, striping.
Striping?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Rachel did that last time, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything.
I don't know.
We got a lively
I don't know
vote.
about the contracts over $2,000, all right?
I think we need some more coffee.
We have to control when Dirk does that.
That's right.
I would entertain a motion for the striping agreement for the chair to sign.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Fishback, second by Sutton, to sign the stripping agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Um,
Gotta have a little humor now.
uh,
missed it, so did we get rid of the strip club or?
For Pete's sakes, don't start that. There'll be road or someplace down the road, so.
This is just an agreement for, the paving project we're gonna do out on County Road 13 with bituminous. We
Okay.
did this and all this. This is just a contract. I tabbed this where the chairman would sign it, just a regular contract like, anything else we do. These are actually a little overkill in my opinion, but Chris would probably like them.
I move authorization of
I'll
signature.
second it.
Moved by Kempley, second by Hanson, to authorize the chair to sign the paving by Minimus Paving over in County Road 13. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And now let's give you a quick little update. We just started paving today. We're paving up on that Road 14, started a mile north of Prairiewood. And we had 12 flaggers out there. I didn't get any calls for anybody getting in the oil, so that's probably our third or fourth busiest road, and once every however many years you gotta go out there and deal with it, and it went okay. We have to learn, we gotta be a little slower in the morning. It's a little hectic out there until you get to 8 o'clock. But, I'm gonna get started out there. I'm hoping 2.5 weeks that'll take, and then we'll be done, so. We had the pre-con yesterday for US 12 and County Road 14 intersection for the lights, and then there's also lighting, we don't ever talk about it, but in addition to the traffic signals, there's also lighting along US 12 going, not part of our deal, just to let you know. Part of that project has lighting going back to Roosevelt on the road out there. There won't be a full closure on that affecting County Road 14 probably till the end of July. So I thought it would get closed right away, and then they're only allowed to have that closed for 20 days while they do the work there by RDO, basically, the stuff that would affect our county road. But that's gonna be more of a, mid to late July before you really start. They'll be out there doing stuff in the ditches, and they'll probably have some signs up and stuff, but before it's really affecting traffic, it'll be probably more into July. So we'll crowd that in as close as we can to harvest. That'll be good.
I was just gonna say, it'd be nice to have that done.
Yeah, but that we've got, like we've been talking about, 6 or 7 different locations out there, and one of them's gonna be in the way for something. I mean, but we'll get it all done, and it should be nice when we get everything out of the way, so.
If we don't get rain pretty soon, it'll be a light harvest,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Open 14 today, I already said that. Started paving a little further north, and the lane closure down on US 12 won't be till the end of July. So those are my notes. You guys have any other questions or
That's a
comments?
crazy question.
That's okay.
Is it Edmonds or McPherson? Does one of them have like a 60 or 65 mile per hour speed limit and then trucks are 40?
I'm not that, McPherson has a lot of 65. I don't know, like our speed zone, the way that we do it.
They got a lot of trucks, 45.
Yep, I'd have to go up and see, I don't know.
That's what it used to be, I've been up there
But
for a while.
I'm guessing that that's correct. I do
Somebody
know that
mentioned
their
that
speed
to
limit
me.
is 65.
Right, farms
That
up there,
probably
I know it's-
deters a lot of the trucks from using the county roads and using state highways if possible. They can only go 40 on the counties, and then you bump up the cars.
Right.
Because the trucks do a lot more damage than the cars.
Yep.
They're a long ways from anything.
Yep.
They drive
Yeah.
faster.
But, they have a lot that are 65. I'm not gonna say that every one of their asphalt roads is, but I know there's a couple that hook up with our 55s that are 65. I'm not in favor of raising the speed limits.
She likes to speed. Or lowering them
I'm always in favor of lowering them.
for the,
The-
just wondering if that would be an
On-
offset you
on,
would be
You're
open
thinking
to.
of lowering the speed limit
well,
for
she's
the
saying for the truck, like on
They
the
lower their
gravel.
trucks, and then
Yeah,
they
I know
up.
what you're saying, it just seems strange.
There, a couple comments about that, our gravels are 40, when we put on, load limits and the speed limit goes down to 40.
Really?
Yeah, well, in theory, the limit does, whether or not people drive it, I don't know. I'm not always on the side of the majority in my thought process, but if you have a road that's decent, I'm not sure at what point you go from, good road to bad road, okay? But on a good road, I don't think lowering the speed limit helps, I think it hurts, because you're keeping that load, that heavy load out there on the road longer, when they're only going 40. It's impacting it longer. However, on a bad road, a higher speed, when you have variations in the road and the forces that creates with the banging on there, on a bad road, I probably believe that 40 is a better deal. On a good road, I don't buy it, and for that reason, because you don't have forces going, you just got your one motion going down the allegedly good road, and we have 3 miles of good road in the county. But I'm just saying, on those, I think that you end up leaving the heavy load out on the road longer, and I don't think that's positive either. But I do think on a flat road where you're bouncing and heaving and stuff like that, then 40 would be better.
I'm not saying I'd be a proponent either, I was just curious how you
Right.
felt.
Question mark?
It used to be called the washboard. I'm from Potter County. And you didn't come into our town till you slowed down to about 30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start twisting sideways.
Yeah, you would. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
right.
a little car
I
would
agree.
shake and rumble.
Take your ass off the road.
Sure.
Just the gravel road, that's what I grew up on. And I come up here in 2002 and I like our road.
Well, there you go, comparison to Potter County.
Yeah.
A Democrat to a Democrat. Republican primary.
Yes.
Anything else for us, Dirk?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for the update.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. I'm gonna go vote now.
I hope they're working.
Couldn't take you.
We vote today on one thing.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to go through Max's
Yeah.
items, or do we want to,
Well,
I guess the agenda items are done with. I guess we'll go through the list of the auditors. I guess, rather than do that, is there anything else to come before the commission, anybody in attendance, before we go through the particular items that we normally do, the claims and payroll and all that type of thing, or is there? Carson?
I'm here again,
That's all right.
and I guess I'm just wondering about an update, because I know a couple weeks ago, when we had the discussion here with the other farmers, there was some thought process that you were going to still pursue with the State Department of Revenue to pick up some of the costs for reimbursement, and I'm just wondering if contact has been made with them, and if so, what the response has been.
I guess the state is probably stating there isn't any liability on their part. That's my understanding, what they're saying. I have been in contact with the state on, I guess, an alternative of what the offer was. We're trying to work with them to see if we got some flexibility. You know, we had mentioned at our last meeting, we were looking at probably trying to look at maybe possibly doing a percentage for the 15 townships down the road to try to refund some of the money. We're trying to make that angle work, and at this time, I guess, we'll probably go into exec and discuss more of that on the legal side of that and contracts on that part, see how it works. It hasn't stalled, Carson. We're still looking for some angles to try to make it better for you than what the original offer was. I guess that's kind of where we're at.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. And you're probably aware that several people have filed in circuit court now.
Yes, we are.
About this, and so we're going to have to see what, and unfortunately it was too late for me because I didn't know I'd gone over. Well, I knew I was about to go over the 30 days, but I did not have the financial resources to hire an attorney to do that. But these other fellows have somehow managed to do this, and I think have substantially more acres than I do to make this worthwhile. But anyway, I guess I just wondered about that because I remembered at that last meeting that there was, and I can't remember how it was worded, but that the commission was going to go further with the Department of Revenue, attempting to try to get more cooperation and reimbursement.
And it looks like the Department of Revenue probably is willing to maybe show us a little grace on some other options we're working through. And I think a lot of that's going to pertain to how do we make the numbers work to give you a better offer, or those 15 townships. And there's a lot of logistics that move around in this thing as far as the taxing factor versus the assessment, what we can do. And we have to be careful that when we do the assessment, if we do the assessment and your taxing factor goes from 85 to 99, have we gained anything? That's where the moving part of that comes in. The state says you have to assess for X amount of dollars to retain an 85% taxing factor. Well, if we don't do the assessment right and all of a sudden your taxing factor goes up, have we gained anything? So we have to be careful in how we work these numbers and we don't put ourselves in jeopardy down the road. And we're kind of working on that, and hopefully I would think after our exec and Chris and Gene get done here, we'll have a little bit clearer picture of what we want to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, maybe once we kind of figure that out, we probably have an open forum again, like downstairs, and
That would be up to you folks.
and I guess that's just something I'm throwing out there. I'm not saying we'll do it, but I think to put everybody on the same page, we have to kind of keep addressing this issue, and I would hope that we see an end to this pretty soon, but it's a slow process.
Yeah, it's going to be. Now, the letter that was going to be sent out to those who filed under protest or offering your original offer, is that still going to be going out, or is that on hold at the time?
The release letter, is that what you're asking, Carson?
I think that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
My answer to that is probably not, because there's potential other options.
Okay.
And there was the group that didn't like that release agreement, there was the group that did like it. So I don't know, the commission will have to decide if they want to settle with some folks, or now that it's getting litigated in circuit court, there's a real possibility the judge says you lose and the commission says we don't have any offer for you.
This is what I was hoping to hear, because I have no intention of signing it, I know that, and I would doubt that the majority of landowners are willing to sign it, but there probably is a small group that's willing to sign it, you know, just to move forward, but I'm not willing to move forward for the amount of money that I overpaid.
A small group used to be called the big group, which said that it'll be the vast majority of the signs. Just so you know, the ones that were represented by attorneys at the time, that's what was represented to the commission.
Well, I think there were some potential misunderstandings there.
There may have been, I'm not in that group, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyway, to answer your question, we are still working on it, trying to find a solution that probably meets everybody's, I mean, it won't be to full satisfaction, but we're hoping it'll be better than what originally was offered, and I can't tell you that until we see the numbers, how we're gonna make this work.
Okay, so the letter is not going out, the agreement will have to be signed at this time?
Right.
Okay, and I don't know how long these circuit court proceedings would take, but I'm presuming it could take months?
It'll be a long drawn-out affair. We're hoping to avoid that, and that again, we don't know all the particulars, so that's where Chris is gonna come in, and we're gonna try to keep working through this, and we have found that the Department of Revenue is looking at giving us a little bit of grace on this also, the way I would call it Plan B, and we'll see once, and that has to be approved by them also, remember, we just can't do it, and so there's a lot of parts that we have to put together before we can finally come out and say this is what we're willing to do.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'll probably continue to attend these meetings for a while.
That's fine, you're more than welcome.
Everybody's welcome.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anything else from anybody in attendance? Not hearing anything, we will move forward with the items on the auditor's side of things.
Approved general meeting minutes of May 29.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, seconded by Hanson to approve the general meeting of May 29th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Claims.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Fishback, seconded by Kifley to approve the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. HR report.
Second.
Moved by Kifley, seconded by Fishback to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a fireworks permit for Richmond Lake Association.
What if we don't rain?
Move.
Do I have a second?
What if there's no rain?
I think at that point in time, I think that's when the burn ban would come into effect. So if we approve the fireworks and we put a burn ban on July, that supersedes that, it means that they've basically got a fireworks permit that isn't any good.
I thought last year we figured fireworks were
Dwayne made the
included in
motion.
burn bans.
That's what I'm thinking.
Burn bans don't include fireworks.
Right.
Remember last year?
They can, but they don't have to.
That's up to us.
State law.
I think you're right. I think Rachel's
State law
right on
says it
that.
doesn't.
I think we had a big discussion on that.
like this at our office.
From last year.
I'd have to look at it. It also matters what the dates are.
Yeah.
I'd have to go look at the specifics.
So it's a moot point if it's state law.
I've never seen this permits, I don't know what the dates are.
So then,
I'd have to
we
look at
could
all
deny
of
the permit ahead of time, but, you know, it's kind of one of those, if we deny the permit now and we get wet in the next 2 weeks, I mean, how do you play that game? I
What's the
mean,
date on it? Is it 4th of July? Or are they doing something earlier?
I don't know, they're responsible for what they destroy, so.
let's see.
Check their insurance.
Date, May 30th.
No,
May
May 30th, but there's not,
A little early.
We missed it.
there isn't anything on here as far as the date is from there, Richmond Lake, South Dakota.
They usually
July
do
3rd,
it
right?
on
July
before
3rd.
or something.
Is that July 3rd?
that's Tuesday.
Day of display, July 3rd, 2018, dusk.
It says July 3rd on her notes here.
Well, like Tom said, if there's a fire,
Might rain
they're
by then.
responsible, so.
I would say let's, put it on for next week. I don't think there'd be a hurry, and then that'll give us a chance to look at that file about the issue last year.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, we'll continue on that subject next week, Tuesday, after we review the state statute a little closer. We already took care of the striping agreement.
So long eye.
Probably you only can't see very well. We have a set hearing for ordinance 180403.
Move it.
And that's the Morganhagen?
Oh, our number is 476.
Okay.
Did you move it? I'll second it. Or I'll move it, whatever.
Moved by Hanson, second by Sutton to approve the Morganhagen first reading.
And I would move 477, the H&H Farms.
Motion by Kipley.
We have to have...
We have to vote on the
We have to vote on the
first
first
Oh,
one.
All in favor of the first one?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're moving on to the
I'll second that one.
motion by Kipley, second by Fishback to approve the H&H Farms. First reading? No, set the hearing, I'm
Set the
sorry.
hearing
We're
date.
setting the hearing, not the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And you're getting permission on that, Rachel?
I haven't yet, but it should be coming to us.
Okay, good.
Oh, it's in front of you. That's the 477 is on
Yeah,
you.
but there's no map.
Oh, then it must be coming. That's all I
And
got is what you got.
And I did a search on both Beacon and on Google and can't find, or on Beacon for ownership for that property, can't find it.
Fair contracts, I don't believe there was anything that had any motion on them.
Move 'em.
Second.
No motion needed.
There must be some that do.
There was
They were,
Was
yeah,
there?
the,
In that
Yeah.
colored folder.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw 'em.
Who had the motion?
I made it.
Second was
Rachel.
moved by Fishback, second by Rachel to approve the fair contracts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next thing, authorize the advertise a Big Fella special event application for June 23rd.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kipley to advertise Big Fella special event application for June 23rd. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Acknowledge the donation to the dive team from Mid-Continent.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Fishback to approve the donation to the dive team. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Looks like we already took care of the speed zone. We had the chair authorize. That kind of got out of turn there when Dirk was in. Well, I guess we didn't. I would entertain a motion to make it official to lower the...
We made that.
We made that motion
Okay.
already.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
You
can
got
vote
my person here to keep me straight
Yeah.
here. And the surplus property, we already took care of that motion. I would entertain a motion to accept the leases for the, I believe there's a wedding at the Richmond camp.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Kipley to approve the lease. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Can I get approval to pay our precinct workers $50 more to bring it up to $250? It's at, or $40 more, it's at $210 now.
How many is there, roughly?
15 plus 24, 39.
Because there's going to be a lot more hours later. So-
Yeah. But we want to pay them next week.
I'd move it.
Second.
Moved by Kipley, second by Fishback to raise the voter workers from 210 to 250,
Precinct workers, yeah.
precinct workers.
Yeah, we should put a claim into the state to reimburse us for that. Add it on top of that. No, just me.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Gary, do you have anything for us? I guess I think I've got everything covered by the auditor.
I think that's everything. Just wanted to, Max had it on here to remind you of the Clark Open House Thursday night.
Clark Engineering.
Oh, okay.
And then 4:30 to 7:30 at their new building.
At 7:30?
4:30 to
4:30 to
7:30.
So after Canvas, we could go over there.
Billy Sutton's in town.
See, out there, Cal,
Dedicate
A&N and Faircross
scoreboard to Roger
contracts
Rock.
written on here, but I don't know
Is
for
Billy
what.
gonna do that?
No.
What?
No, he's
Info
over there.
for, Calc,
Oh, he has one more thing to do?
Celtic.
A&N
Oh,
and Fair Contracts. Any idea what that's for?
I'm at a disadvantage. They normally present what they've got going, but I
Yeah.
don't have
I think we
anything.
already did fair contract.
Yeah, but
I think we did too.
CALC, A&N, and Fair Contracts. I don't know what those are for though.
Gary, do you know when the poll folks that are working get paid next week? Max said they'd get paid next week. Do you know when that would be? Would it be Friday?
Should be, yeah.
You might want to put it on the agenda for Tuesday just to re-vote, just in case, because I'd have to look, but it probably should be on. Not that anybody's going to come object to it.
Okay.
Good thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't hurt anything. They
I'll
can
put that in the notes.
still get paid on time.
That's all there is. That's all I have.
Anything from anybody else in attendance? I would request an exec for legal, Chris, is that correct?
Yes.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kempley to go in exec, all in favor?
Aye.
We are in exec. No action as a result of exec personnel. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I have a question before we do that. The door over there has been unlocked. Are we just going to make an exception for election day?
I think we may need to for access.
If someone brings it up, I think.
I think we should too.
Don't want anybody thinking it's locked and not having time to get through the window if there's a line or...
Because if it might come up because it is unlocked and policy says it shouldn't be. Because that was discussed when we were talking about the whole security thing. So, just, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kempley to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.